Hey guys, so if you don't know already, this is Wilson, and he is a squirrel that when we found him and took him in, his back legs don't work. We have multiple theories. The one that we're leaning more towards is that he fell out of the tree when he was young, but his back legs don't work. So he's our little rescue squirrel. And I'm going to show you a little bit about how to take care of a squirrel if you wind up in a similar situation. One thing that I never thought about squirrels doing until I had him do it was licking. It's just not something that I think about a squirrel doing. But he'll get a hold of me and he'll lick me. Let's see if we can see his tongue. Nope, he's going to stop. Just like all the other animals I have, when I want him to do something, he refuses to do it. Now, I'm sure you've already noticed I'm wearing a old jacket. Got that nice long sleeve, and that is exactly why. He likes to climb me. Whether I want him to climb or not, he will climb. Doesn't matter what I'm doing. As you can see, he's very ferocious. This is a ferocious squirrel. Anyway, back to taking care of him. Okay, so I got this hamster cage from a friend. It's a pretty good size. Plenty big enough for him. He likes to help. Really. I have no doubt that I'm going to have to keep setting him down about 30 times during this video. Now, first off, this is one of the first things that we got for him. It is a heating pad. Turn it on and it heats up. Kind of like an electric blanket, except smaller. Of course, we don't want him to get too hot, so we roll it up in a blanket. And when we do this, we tend to leave a little bit more of this loose hanging off on the end that has the cord, because he will chew on the cord. Isn't that right, Wilson? Yep, you'll chew on the cord if you get a chance. And we keep this on one end of the cage. And when you put it on there, we got to keep that loose end poking out. Because if we don't, again, he will stick his head through the bars and get a hold of the cord and chew it. And I'm pretty sure I don't need to explain why it's bad for him to chew on a cord. But if you can't figure it out, electricity. Another towel. Fold it in half. And we line the rest of the cage. Now this one happens to be the right size, so that after putting after we put the heating pad in, there's enough room to just fold that other towel in half and it fills the rest of it. So we got the bottom of it. That is both for when he poops and pees to catch it, and we try and cover up the sides as much as possible because he will chew on plastic. So now we put the top back on, and the way this cage works is when you shut it, that goes under that bar, and just for an extra safety precaution we got one of these things to put on there. Right over here. Now, the same friend that I got this from, they had some hamsters, which things happened, and for various reasons they no longer have the hamsters. But they gave me this cage and several other things that came with it, including a water bottle. Now, I learned something very important very quickly, but not too quickly, because we went through 2 bottles, the one that came with it, and we bought another one and had the same problem. I'm sure you've noticed that there's a can that has a hole in the bottom of it that's around it. As I've said before, squirrels like chewing on plastic, as you can see right up here. He chewed a hole in the bottles. He reached through the bars and chewed through the bottles. Now we've got this thing hanging here in the middle. That was one of the things that came with it. Not real sure what it is, but he likes to jump on it and swing and have fun with it. That other thing hanging there was a ball that came off of a stocking at Christmas. Because we use a stocking inside his bucket. Because let's face it, that bucket would be cold. Hello again, Wilson. So, I'll put the rest of his stuff in there and be back in a moment. So here we go, we got all his stuff in there. I actually did not put him in there. He climbed on me, got on my arm, and dropped off in there. I got him a new log, so I think he was a little curious about that. Now, when I was in town, oh, coming out, boy? Come on. He has a little trouble getting out on his own, which is actually a good thing, so we know he's not escaping. Now, down here, we put this rug on it to hold in extra heat, keep him nice and warm. We got one of these little chewable log things. Not entirely sure what it's actually called, but he can chew on it. It's completely safe for him. And that leads in there to his bucket, which is right there, which his stocking that we stick in it is currently in the wash. Up here, all the nuts that were hidden in it that he had stored for later use that I found when I was cleaning his cage. The log he just likes to chew on, gives him a little bit of nature. Deer antlers. Because, fun fact, a squirrel's teeth never stops growing. So, if you look at the points very carefully, you can see that they have been chewed on. He chews on every single one of them to keep his teeth from growing too long. So yeah. Usually within a day he will move that metal bowl over to the ramp and it will slide down to the bottom. And he will either eat or hide all the nuts again. So yeah, give him some nuts, usually some fruits and vegetables. He loves broccoli. A lot of times he goes on certain kicks. One week he might want a whole bunch of blueberries. I'd say blueberries because that's what he's been enjoying this week. He's just been wanting blueberries. He'll eat a bunch of them. And another week, he might not want blueberries at all. He might want strawberries or grapes. But he gets a healthy diet. And he's got everything he could need in there. And of course, every single day, I get him out and play with the little rascal that just tried to grab the camera. After all that, I realized that I forgot one thing. His toys. All his toys get put in there with him so he has something to play with. Though, when he's out, he prefers playing with my hand. That toy is not being held by him, it's just happened to be stuck between his body and my hand. So yeah, that's how you take care of a squirrel. All the basic necessities. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, tell your friends, and leave a comment about, I don't know, something you've seen a squirrel do. It was entertaining or interesting, etc. Yes, insert etc. Because that's a thing. Definitely. Right? Ish.